Hey everybody, Alex from SeemsGoodMagic.com here, and we're doing another Swiss Fate Reforged draft. We got Shu Yun, and yes, I did read Paul Murray's in-depth message about Shu Yun, and I don't have enough experience yet to necessarily say I agree with it or not, but um, I like the look of Shu Yun. I think he raised some pretty interesting points. If you're wondering the comment I'm talking about, I believe it was in either draft 12 or draft 13, match 1, I think, but I don't know. But he was basically trying to compare Shu Yun to the others cards from that cycle, but I still think Shu Yun's the pick here regardless. I like Avon Surveyor. I actually think that's a really good card too. But this guy's pretty well costed. 3 mana, 3/2 with prowess. That alone is good. Tack on the cool additional ability. Why not? Temporal Trespass. This card seems really good to me. Am I wrong? I think this card seems good. Let me see if it's worth anything. It is mythic. Geez, the card's hardly worth anything, but that's surprising. I mean, it is, granted, it's 11 mana, but take an extra turn, right? Am I right? Take an extra turn? Otherwise, Avon Surveyor, but come on. How much more interesting is Temporal Trespass here? I would say much, much more interesting. Okay, so now we've got another choice here. Well, Shu Yun motivates us to either want to be, well, mostly Jeskai, but could also be Teamer. So maybe green is a way I want to go. That would also potentially help ramp us a bit. So yeah, I mean, blue-white, I can pretty much either be just Sky or Teamer if I want to use his ability. Nothing super interesting. Well, you know, Abzan Sky Captain's a good card. Seems like it's a pretty fine pickup here. Not amazing, certainly not bad. I like the Sky Captain, actually, quite a bit. I think it's a fairly safe pick here. Granted, it does pretty much at this point insist that I play just Sky, but I think that's okay. All right, I could take the Lotus Path Djinn, which is a evasive dude that also has prowess. Quite good when you're in just Sky. There is the 1-drop 2/1 though, which is also very good. Not that its ability is like the best thing in the world, but the ability is fine, and a 1-mana 2/1 is also similarly fine. Mob Rule's still in here? You know what? I'm taking Mob Rule. I've won too many games with this card already. 4th pick, I feel like someone should have... I think it's because the guys on the Pro Tour said that red's the worst color. Maybe people are just afraid of red. This card is insane. I've won multiple games with this already in 13 drafts, and I feel like I've minimum stole like 2 or 3 creatures for 6 mana, which is just insane. Yeah, I'm going to take it. Okay. Warflare is definitely good for just Sky. Tranquil Cove would be nice, especially since we're beginning to get fairly color intensive. Maybe we want to now that we have Mob Rule, Temporal Trespass, and Shu Yun, let's focus on red, blue, and we'll splash the white. And I actually think Sky Captain's fine as our splash color. So I actually like the Fearsome Invocation here because it triggers prowess and it gives you a 4/4 at minimum. Otherwise, Tranquil Cove, getting fixing now, certainly seems fine. Especially if white's our splash color. What am I giving up for a Tranquil Cove? Will of the Naga is fine. Warflare would be nice. Fearsome Invocation would also be nice. None of them are amazing. I'm going to take the Tranquil Cove. And I know it seems early, because it is. But just based on just considering how color intensive we already are, it just kind of makes sense to me. All right, Whisk Away is good. What's this dragon do? I haven't played this one yet. To each creature, are you kidding me? This seems amazing. 6 mana. Once again, people just don't like the red cards. So we are passing some removal that I would definitely like, but we're taking a bomb that seems really good. It attacks, wipe all your tokens, and be good with it. All right, we get a Fierce Invocation now, which is fine. Refocus, definitely a good card alongside Prowess. No doubt. And there's Enhanced Awareness, which is a card I've actually come to like quite a bit, especially alongside a Delve spell like Temporal Trespass. People say Trespass. I should stop saying Trespass. It's kind of, sounds pretentious. So Enhanced Awareness versus Fierce Invocation. I actually don't know which one I like more. I like card draws, I like creatures. I think I'm going to take the Fierce Invocation. I mean, Manifest is only in this first pack, whereas card draw, I could potentially get a treasure cruise out of the next one. Let's definitely slam a Jeskai Sage here. It's got prowess. It's in one of our primary 2 colors that we'd like. Hungering Yeti seems like a good one and get a surprise block. I actually like the Yeti too, but I'm going to take the 2-drop dude here instead. I do think there's a pretty strong argument for Yeti since it's like potential surprise block. But I like the Sage. I think he seems good. He's got prowess. Why not? So if I get enough cheap spells, I actually think Huge Stone Retainers is pretty good. But I'm not opposed to taking a second Fierce Invocation here either. Yeah, I think since I can always cast Fierce Invocation, fits in a little bit better with the prowess theme. I think I'll take that one. All right, Cunning Strike. Pretty awesome card in general, and it's in our main 2 colors. Erishan Cleric's a card I like too, but I don't particularly like it on the splash, and Cunning Strike is just an excellent card in general, so no problems there. All right. Guess I can hate a Return to the Earth because it's pretty decent against us. But I guess we can take Ugin's Construct in case we're short on playables. I don't really like it all that much in here, but sacking a Sky Captain or a Jeskai Sage doesn't seem all that bad. Alright, I don't think we need a Lightning Shrieker. I think the best card remaining in the pack is potentially Map the Wastes, but could also be the Hooded Assassin. I think I'll hate the Assassin. I just don't need another 5-drop. And I could just cut red to let people know I'm in red, but it seems like the red's flowing if I'm getting 4th pick Mob Rule and like 6th pick or 5th pick Shock Maw Dragon. None of these cards matter. I guess I'll take the Rune Mark. I could have just hated the green dude. Sage's Reverie. Yeah, I haven't played it yet. We do have some auras, though. Oh, no. It's not an aura. It's an... Well, it looks like I took it anyway. Oh, no, I didn't. I took a Sibsig Host instead. That's okay. I don't think I was going to play either of them. Oh, no. Villainous Wealth. Well, there is a Seeker of the Way in here, which does seem like probably the card I want for my Jeskai deck. I'm going to have to make my mana better, though, if I want to make it work. And believe me, I do. Because Seeker of the Way is pretty insane. Yeah, there's a Tranquil Cove here, too. And there's Leaping Master, which is just so much worse than a Seeker of the Way. I think we got to take the Seeker. Starting to get mixed into some color business here. I don't know if I like it. Like, Highspire Mantis is a pretty attractive pick here as well. I can't really, I mean, I could also just go a healthier mix of 3 colors and ditch the Temporal Trespass. Sorry. Not pretentious, I promise. Let's take the Mantis. I mean, Valley Dasher is just so much worse. All right. Well, maybe we should sort by color for now. This will help me gauge a little bit better where we're at. So, still we're lightest in white, but I could change that to blue potentially and maybe pass on this, take an extra turn plan just because triple blue, if it's my lightest color, seems like a mistake. And also forcing blue if it's not open seems kind of like a mistake. Whereas splashing for Shuyan actually seems fine since his ability is the actual, you know, color intensive part. I could see that. Awesome. Sage of the Inward Eye. I've probably played this rare more than any other. It's really interesting. I've opened it a lot and I've gotten it past a lot. So definitely taking it. Absolutely no reason not to. Very good card. So currently rocking 10 creatures. I would still like my primary colors to be blue and red, but currently indeterminate whether that is realistic or not going to happen. The Temporal Trespass is seeming like something that's not going to end up happening. All right. So I already have 10 creatures, so I'm a little more tempted to take the Burn Away, but I do love a good Jeskai Wind Scout. But I think regardless, we'd probably take the Burn Away. Could also take the Arrow Storm, but it's more color intensive, and Burn Away just deals with more stuff. And we already have such a fantastic late game plan that I would think removal is more important than cheap beats. I mean, we have an excellent late game plan. Yeah, I'm going to take the Burn Away. Arrow Storm burns face, but Burn Away deals with more stuff and really hurts the Sultai decks sometimes, so just seems right. All right, Deflecting Palm paid off for me quite a bit last time, but there is a Mystic Monastery, which is like just so good for this deck. But man, Deflecting Palm is good. Deflecting Palm is real good. I mean, it's a rare. That's tough for me to pass up on. It really is. That is a good rare. I mean, it straight up just won me a game in the last one in such a cool way too. If you missed it, Cunning Strike off the top drew the Deflecting Palm to redirect an Arrow Storm back towards my opponent for Xaxes, including the Cunning Strike. So very amazing. I don't know, man. Rare versus Sweet Land. I mean, the land is certainly the pick, but I'm taking the Palm. I can't help myself. It worked out too well for me last time. So now we can take Weapon Master, we can take Bivouac, which is in fact fixing, or Mind Swipe, which is another rare, and actually a pretty decent one too. Counters spells. Do we just keep taking rares to make a cute, fun deck? I'm kind of feeling it. I'm going to take the rare again. Whether or not it's wrong, we're going to find out. All right. Bloodfire Expert over Crippling Chill here. Both are fine. Crippling Chill is pretty good. Let's just sort by color again. At this point, we're just hamstringing ourselves so much by taking all these rares that are cool. Okay, so what are we doing? Are we going to take the Bloodfire Expert, which does have prowess, or are we going to take the Crippling Chill, which is good with prowess and draws you a card and is like pseudo removal? I'm going to take the Bloodfire Expert. I just feel like I want some more creatures. Ooh, Swift Spear here is a pretty awesome pick. Yeah, fine with that. Mana base is quite bad, but what's the good news? The good news is in pack 3, I can focus on lands the entire time and probably be okay, right? Probably. Swift Kick is, I would say, most playable in a prowess deck since your guy gets bigger. You know, it's basically like you get +2/+1 in fight. Which actually isn't that bad. Otherwise, I have to take a Venerable Lamassu, which isn't bad either, but I think I'd rather have the Swift Kick here, potentially. None of these cards matter. I guess I'll take a Cranial Archive. I feel like we're not likely to play the Ugin's Constructs either. Take the Ramparts, but I don't really need it. Trumpet Blast is fine. Actually, I think at this point we take the Banner, and if our mana base doesn't work out, we're going to jam this Banner hard because we've got some amazing late game play. And look at the just based on the sheer quantity of 5-drops I have, I think Banner is just like auto inclusion in this deck. Even with 18 lands and the Temporal. Well, that actually is the second Banner we could potentially play, but for now I'll sideboard it. So what do we think about this deck? Well, it certainly looks fun, right? Look at all these rares we have. Deflecting Palm and Shu Yun and Sage, Mob Rule, Temporal Trespass, Mind Swipe. Just loaded with rares. Loaded with color-intensive rares. All right, well, we have the Mardu Banner, so why don't we get real greedy? Play Zergo Helm Smasher. No, I don't think so. I don't think we should. We can take the Water Whirl. It's color-intensive and expensive, which I don't really like. War Shrieker, unfortunately not all that good in our deck, especially since we have 0 morphs currently. Interestingly enough, could take the Glacial Stalker. Gives us a little more early stuff to do. I just don't think we can make Zergo Helm Smasher work. As cute as the card is, and the fact that we could just play as many rares as we possibly can in a deck, that is cool. But I think we actually take the Water Whirl here. It does seem pretty powerful, bouncing 2 creatures. And I feel like Glacial Stalker likely wheels. We already have 13 creatures, so why not? Didn't get any fixing, unfortunately, that works for us, but believe you me, I will take any fixing at this point that works out for us. Okay. I think we take the kill shot here. Something cheap to do that kills stuff. Otherwise, Wetland Sandbar, which is less good, I think. All right, kill shot it is. I think the Temporal Trespass is just at this point not happening. All right, I actually like Jeering Instigator quite a bit. There's another Water Whirl, which is interesting. And Force Away, which is cool. But I like the Creature plus Active Treason effect. I'm a bigger fan of that than most, I think, because people don't see it coming. It actually is worse in a Prowess deck because you'd probably rather just Active Treason. But I like the Jeering Instigator. I think it's a good card. I like that it does dual, it does multiple things. I like that it attacks, blocks, and steals stuff. Okay. Feat of Resistance seems quite good, especially with the powerful creatures we already have. Misfire Weaver is also good, and it flies, but I think we're actually going to just take the feat and make our mana base that much more difficult. But at this point, we're just not going to play Trespass. That's just not happening. As much as I would like it to, I just cannot make it work. Crippling Chill versus Canyon Lurkers. Probably have enough creatures. Let's just take the Chill, which I like quite a bit. Very interesting deck. Let's cut the Swift Kick. Let's cut... I don't know. Alright, Horde Chief is probably the pick. Let's sort by color again, because we might actually be splashing blue at this point. Yeah, I think we actually just swapped into Splash Blue, which is actually just fine. Let's cut the Construct. Definitely running the banner. We can make one more cut. I think Water Whirl might be greedy for splashing blue, so okay. So splashing blue, let's take the Horde Chief here over the Master, which I think is just going to be better for us. And then we probably cut, probably even the Sage. Just doesn't seem worth it on the splash. So this is still 13 creatures. Could have used some actual card draw in here. I guess we don't have card draw, but we do have like some big bangy effects, which are nice. We can take the Kieran. How many 4-drops we already rocking? Oh, I guess we're only rocking a couple. All right. Kieran seems like a fine pickup for us. There's also Trumpet Blast, which is good with Prowess, but we already cut Prowess guy because we're just cutting back on Prowess in this deck. All of our blue spells currently are just fine on the splash, though, I think. But yes, let's make a cut for this Kieran, because I think I would like to include it. Maybe the Crippling Chill, mostly because I actually like Crippling Chill a lot, but on the splash maybe less good, and I'd rather run the Kieran, I think. All right, Tormenting Voice is a fine option, but I think we're actually just good on playables for now. Could take the Rush of Battle, which is good with Prowess. Maybe I leave it as an option, I guess. Abzan Charm Tables? No, that's just insane. War Shrieker in our deck can play a Horde Chief, not a Shuyan, an Expert, an Instigator Morph, and a Banner. It's not bad. I could just hate the Abzan Charm. I actually don't even think we need the War Shrieker. I'm kind of pretty much satisfied with where we're at regardless. Let's just cut the Charm. I don't want to play against it since it's one of the best charms, so it just seems strange that it's still in here. I'll take the Cancel for sideboard, but actually on the splash that just seems highly unrealistic. Let's just hate the Dragon Scale Boon, which I think is probably the best card. All right. I love how it's like pack 3 will get that fixing. 0 pieces of fixing out of pack 3. Not one on color land for us, but that's okay. We actually ended up fine. We're very minimal blue in here, so I don't need any of these cards. I think I might just take the Mentor because it blocks reasonably well, maybe against aggro or something. And like I said, Shuyun's actually fine on the splash. I would say better on the splash than it would be, on... if it was in one of your main colors. All right, War Behemoth. But let's be real here. not a great chance that we're going to give our guys double strikes, so we're mostly playing it as a 3-mana, 3/2 prowess, which is fine, not amazing. So kind of an underwhelming first pick, to be honest. I think we were just competing with people for blue, which is okay because our deck is still very good. I mean, look at all these rares, yo. That is a lot of rares. Even cutting Temporal Trespass, we still have a lot of rares, so very cool. 14 creatures, including the double Fierce Invocation. I think we gotta play the 18 lands. We just have a lot of late game stuff that we want to do. Didn't end up with much in the morph department. In fact, just one spell. Just surprising. But we have some great flyers. Look at this. We actually ended up with a good fleet, like unintentionally. We have Sky Captain, Kieran, Mantis, Sage, and Shockmaw Dragon. So like all of our late game creatures are, well, I guess these are creatures too, but all of our late game creatures are, most of our late game creatures are big flyers. Our removal is fine. Deflecting Palm and Mind Swipe are like kind of interesting ones. Feat of Resistance is a great trick, and I'm much happier that Seeker is like, and our early prowess stuff is fantastic. I think our main issue is we don't have a lot that triggers our prowess. The Fierce Invocations do trigger prowess, but not in surprise form. Not that that's a huge deal, but activating Shu Yun is seeming more and more difficult. Feat of Resistance would be a good way to do it. Banner, mid to late game, seems like a pretty reasonable way to do it. Is it enters? No, it's whenever you cast it. Okay. Deflecting Palm's not really going to do it all that much, but it could interact with it. Overall, like I said, this looks like a cool deck. It does. Let's sort by color, see how many blue spells we're actually running. Kind of happy I took that Tranquil Cove early. Now that we know it's got one of our splash colors in it, so it's going to help our mana base. We only have 4 blue spells, so I'm not too worried about the splash. And I think all the blue spells we're splashing for are certainly worth it. Maybe an argument for Cunning Strike, but I love it. Cunning Strike's good. And Deflecting Palm is just unreasonably good against like your opponent's like, 10 power dude that wants to get in. It's just too good to pass up, I think. I think I probably undervalued Deflecting Palm. Maybe I'm overvaluing it now. I probably am. I'm probably just having the opposite problem since it worked out so well for me last time. But I think 18 lands with a banner is still fine since our fixing is pretty bad. I think we're probably just going to try and get away with 3 islands. They want to do 4. Well, let me see how I feel about that. I don't feel so good about it because I kind of want at least 7 white sources, and this is 4 blue sources plus a banner, so it's like 5, and this is like 9 with the banner, and yeah, I think this is actually, considering how little fixing we ended up taking and getting, I think our mana base is actually okay. It's not terrible. Could be better. I mean, since we want to play a Swift Spear on turn 1, but our deck doesn't hinge on playing Swift Spear on turn 1. It basically hinges on just seeing all 3 colors eventually. So, all in all, we started with, I think, the blue-red plan. It turned into a white-red plan, splash blue, and I'm very happy with it. A lot of 5-drops, but I think that's okay because we actually ended up with a reasonable amount of early plays. And this banner is just, like, super good now that we have, 5 drops. And yeah, this looks like a really fun deck to play. I hope it does well for us. Got some really powerful effects we can do in the late game. So no card draw, which is definitely a problem. I guess banner kind of cycles, but in an expensive way. Yeah. So Cunning Strike, I guess, kind of draws. I guess all in all, main shortcoming of the deck, we could get flooded quite easily, but I'm not too concerned about the mana base. Basically just concerned about flooding out, but we'll have to see if that happens. So we'll see you in round 1, running it like this.